Well, hey everybody, it's Pastor Andrew here from New Hope UMC in Gainesville, Georgia. I hope your 2023 is off to a great start. I'm excited to jump on here for our second live midweek update of the year. Let you know about everything that's going on at New Hope as we're really getting amped up and ramped up with new things happening in the new year. We've got a lot to share. I'm going to try to go through it quick so you know and you can be plugged in. So Sunday we kicked off our Navigating the New Year series, and man, it was a great Sunday as we talked about anchors away, about just setting sail into the new year and following God's call to be the church He's called us to be and to be the people that He's called us to be. Now, tonight is our first Wednesday night programming of the year. That means youth and kids are kicking back off at 6 p.m. Kids are down in the Heritage Building. Youth are up in the Next Generation Building. Choir meets at 7. So lots of stuff happening tonight. Make sure you don't miss it, especially if you got children in elementary school or middle or high school. We've got stuff for them. Midweek is an awesome time at New Hope. It's an awesome time to have those kids plugged in, so make sure you get them there tonight. Certainly, if you want to be in the choir, if you've never sung with the choir, if you've sung with them for years, don't forget choir rehearsal at 7 o'clock tonight as well. We've had a lot of other great things kind of kicking off this week. Our men's breakfast study that meets on Tuesday mornings, we got started back for the new year. We picked our topic. We're going to do an awesome book called Wild at Heart throughout the winter and into the early spring. So it's a great time to get plugged in. I'm going to have a few extra copies of that book with me Sunday. So if you're a guy and you want to get into that rotation of being with us on Sunday or on Tuesday mornings, then grab a book for me. If you can't make Tuesday mornings, grab the book and read along with us. It'll be awesome. They're like 10 or 11 bucks, so not bad at all. Also on Tuesday, our Hebrews study kicked off at 10 o'clock in the Next Gen Building for adults. So if you're available on Tuesday, I want to do kind of a verse-by-verse Bible study on the book of Hebrews. That's a great place to jump in on Tuesdays. This morning, our prayer group was back at it. Just so exciting to see the church filled and life happening with the preschoolers being back, with these studies taking place, with these groups kicking off for the winter and spring. So just lots of exciting things happening. And we got more of that happening in the next few days. Next week's a big week. Monday, even though the church office will be closed, the women's ministry is having their meeting, so they're going to meet at Olive Garden on Monday at 11 and do lunch and meeting kind of combined into one. Then next Tuesday, we'll have our men's breakfast at 7 a.m., but then the men's group, all of the men in the church, whether you can come on Tuesday mornings or not, are going to meet, and we're going to have a great men's dinner, and that's at 7 o'clock that night. Make sure you let the church officer, Brent Capehart, know if you're going to be there, so we make sure we got enough food for you. Then the following week, we've got our grief workshop with Reverend John Davenport, our care pastor. There's lots of exciting things happening and getting started. Way more than we can put into a little short video like this. So if you're not getting an email every Thursday from the church, make sure to send us your email address. Comment on this video and get plugged in, because we send out all the details about all of that. More than we can put in a video or a bulletin or anything like that. That email is your one source for all that information that comes out every Thursday around lunchtime. So I mentioned that Sunday we kicked off Navigating the New Year. We talked about anchors away, about kind of setting sail into the new year and chasing God into the new year. This week we're going to talk about overcoming obstacles. And we've been kind of hanging out in the book of Joshua throughout this series. And, we talked about this idea of where the Israelites finally crossed over into the promised land after the 40 years of wandering, and the celebration of that, and that God was back with them, and that they had finally crossed over, and kind of compared that to how we've crossed over into a new year. But you know what? Pretty quickly they came upon the walls of Jericho, right? 2 enormous walls, back to back, 15 feet apart, and a city that looked like they would never, ever be able to conquer it, right? They went from that high of crossing over the river into the promised land to seeing their first obstacle in their way in the city of Jericho. We're going to talk about that Sunday, because I would guess that today's the 11th day of a new year, and January 1, maybe you're like me, you're a Dogs fan. You're like, all right, we're going to national championship, and we won it, and we're on a high, and we're eating healthy, and we're working out every day, and we're doing good. And now around the 10th, 11th, 12th, a couple weeks in, we start seeing those obstacles pop up. We start seeing those challenges. We start seeing things that push against us and push back on those resolutions, those dreams, those decisions we made about the new year. We start to see our own Jerichos. We're going to talk about Sunday how we overcome them. Because with God, the Israelites did knock down those walls, not on their own. There's some things in your life that you're probably already experiencing in the new year that you say, God, I can't do this on my own. And he says, good, you don't have to. There are things that are too big for us to do on our own, but through faith and through God, we can achieve them. We're going to talk about that on Sunday. So I hope you'll be there, whether it's in person or online, 9 a.m. contemporary, 11 o'clock traditional. Invite people to be with you. This is a great series that I know you know somebody that it will bless. So I hope to see you Sunday, whether it's in person or online. I hope you're going to bring some folks with you, because this is a great thing for us to talk about at the beginning of this new year, because it's great to be excited at the beginning of the new year, but what do we do to overcome those obstacles when they come? I hope you have a great rest of the week. I hope you get your children and youth there tonight, and I can't wait to see you Sunday morning at New Hope UMC in Gainesville, Georgia. Bye, guys. Have a great